Hello everyone, I am Duke James. This is Hungary 3.0, and I set my wages to 85% a while ago. But I think we can get back to 100%. Also, I think this is just the bureaucracy, so this didn't really actually do anything, except I did notice that it decreased the supply of bureaucrats from a demand. Well, there's demand of 2,222, but there's only supply of 2,159 and half of a bureaucrat. Not sure about that half, but maybe like a child bureaucrat. Or just a guy cut in half, I guess. Maybe he had an accident in one of the mines. Alright, we can promote commerce. Let's go ahead and do that. Support commerce. Seems like something you should always do all the time. And never not do it. I don't think I need to lavishly endow the church. I'll just go ahead and donate to the church. And yield concessions again. Pest. So the peasants are losing money. They're about -3 ducats. I don't think that's including taxes though, so they'd be about -50 then, including taxes. But they're still growing and they're still migrating in this province. Literacy's still going up. Luxury needs for the peasants dropped. I think that was at 88%, so it's now 50%. Actually, luxury needs for nobles dropped as well, even lower than the peasants, so the nobles have been hurt. But the nobles are still increasing by 0.014, so they're actually fine. They're not dying. Although, does it really matter if the nobles die? We're anti-noble, right? More power to the peasants. Literacy rates is dropping for the clergy. I think it increased for the burghers, unless it was 57% before. Then it might still be dropping, actually. But I'm not entirely sure what literacy even does. I think I mentioned that before in the past, actually. Except the institute. I think it's the institution invention. Which I'm not entirely sure about, but figure it out eventually. Commerce industry is growing and pest. They had a good year last year. They were plus 500% profitability. Dropped this year to only 100% profitability, but still. Higher education is really good. Plus 235% profitability. Religious education, at least in this province, is also pretty good as well. Housewares is still losing money. Plant fiber is still losing money, but wheat, pasture, timber, cottage industry all went positive. This province, I think the peasants are still making money. Even though they have a lot, they have 61 ducats of property income, but they're only investing 2.1. I imagine that's because at least the mine resources are maxed. So that's just maintenance investment at this point. Poland declared war upon Mazovia. Bohemia announced me as a rival. In this province, the burghers have 9 ducats and they make nothing. Because there's no city, that makes sense, actually. There's probably 1 burgher in this entire province. There's 8 burghers in this province. 20,000 people total. That is a rich peasantry. So I think I could either try to build up a city here and city industries, or I could pretty much just leave it and the peasants would make a lot of money from the gold. I think there's no cottage industry in this province, actually. So you know what I'll do? I think I'll add a cottage industry because that's rural. Let's clear selected provinces. Select that province. Open a new slot. Actually, what is the input for cottage industry? It should just be labor, actually. The input is fiber and fuel and raw goods. It's actually a lot of inputs. All right. Produces consumer goods, military goods, industrial goods at the same amount, and a little bit of luxury goods. So this province doesn't produce anything, but the sectors around it probably do. Or the provinces around it in the sector, and it should be able to trade for other stuff. Its houseware industry is positive cash, so I think a cottage industry should work out. Actually, wait a minute. There's farmland and forests now. So I could actually open up those. I should probably open up those first. So the forests would produce fuel. Which, where's the cottage? Where's the cottage industry? There it is. All right. Fiber, fuel, raw. So if I open up, I'd have to open up fiber and then the fuel. Raw goods would come from mines. Can't do that in, actually, yeah, no, because there's just a gold mine. Unless, can you open up metal? There's no metal present, but there's a mine. No, because I think it needs an actual metal deposit other than gold. But I'll just see, actually, if that opens up. Nope. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up a timber industry. Because there should be forests now. And I imagine if I don't open anything up, but I have forests, it's not going to do anything. So it should be entirely unprofitable and drop to nothing like where it was. So in that case, they might actually, since there was no timber industry, they wouldn't invest. But if I opened up a timber industry but didn't put any money in, theoretically it should increase up to 66. Let's go ahead and open up a fiber industry as well. Alright, so now plant fibers, timber, they should produce the fuel and the fiber needed for a cottage industry. I'll let those get a little bit developed before I build a cottage industry as well. We have a couple rebels. $25 years in this province. Probably because I put poll tax high in that province. Don't think I wanted poll tax high. We can go ahead and decrease that. They're not really rich here, so The peasants aren't rich here. Yeah, I don't want to tax them 39%. So we can go ahead and decrease that. That should deal with that unrest. And these 3 provinces actually give me access to the Black Sea. So if I put a merchant here, I could get access to the Central Steppe node, and the Ruthenia node, and the Caucasus node if I wanted. I don't think there's really anything in the Black Sea node because most of these are not developed. Maybe in Genoa's provinces. They should have some finished goods, like textiles, luxury goods, processed materials. I think I'll leave the merchants where they're at now, though. There is a commerce industry developing in this province. I don't think that was there before. The trade modifier. The commerce industry was probably there. Game. Okay, the game industry in this province is... looks like it's making money. Yeah, the game industry is actually making 89% profit. Okay, so if that's making 89% profit, then this province should have... Okay, the game industry in this province is making 163% profit. It's less income and cost, 1 ducat 49. This province is 3 ducats, so it's double. And this province, I would have to tag them. Is making only 2 ducats and 2.4 ducats. So is it not based on the size of the forests then? It's possibly also because of the out of whack labor now affecting things. So yeah, I mean, I guess just put those in any province with forests. They have access to forests, they will get those goods. And that is food, salt, fiber, fuel, raw, and exotic goods that gives access to. And that's actually a decent amount of exotic goods, 0.115. So that seems to be a way to get access to salt if you don't really have salt. I'm not sure why the game industry would produce salt. Seems like it would consume salt. But that is all just for rural, pretty much just for rural labor. It will produce a little bit of food, salt, fiber, fuel, raw, and exotic goods. So I think I'll actually put the game industry in most of my provinces with forests. Because I think most of the ones with forests, a lot of forests, don't have other industries. So I probably wouldn't put something like that in pest, because I would want the pest to be industrial, mostly. Venice is no longer my rival. Serbia has announced me as a rival. Alright, Serbia, what did I do to you? Bulgaria wants access. Bulgaria is dying to the Ottomans. That's not my problem. Just like historical Hungary. That's not my problem. And then they arrived one day, and it was their problem. And then the country got split in half. Because Jan Zapoylia butchered that name. Hey, we got a stability point. Okay. In terms of leveraging burgers, I think I went over these, but if I didn't, you can make them invest in urban levies. You can have them lose power, which you can do with pretty much everybody. You can promote anti-competitive practices, which would give you 5 merchant trade power for the cost of 10 loyalty. You can enforce special tolls, so if you have a lot of commerce, we could take some tax from the commerce, or you could secure naval supplies. There's also another thing for, you can take a loan for like half the interest rate, or it's like it's either 2% the interest rate that you would get, or half. I think I took one for 4%. So you can't directly take money from the burgers anymore, but you do have to pay that money back, so it's probably not worthwhile unless you can get it for 1% interest, but even then, it's like, it costs loyalty as well, so unless you needed cash in a bind and you didn't want to pay the interest, probably won't use that much. Let's go ahead and enforce special tolls. I'm going to try this. 10% times burger power of commerce slot income transferred to local tax income for the next 5 years. 10 burger loyalty. We'll see how that goes. Because the commerce industry in this province is increasing a lot. It's pretty profitable. And of course, we didn't get the personal union over Poland because I killed my leader almost immediately. France declared war upon Naples. Good for them. Our land force limit is increasing, probably because we're making the nobles happy. If I had legitimacy, I would disown popular relative. But I don't have legitimacy. So I'll skip that. You could arrange a strategic marriage. Nobles would gain power, but it's not. Oh, that's not a whole lot of power. That's what 6 and some change. 0.6 and some change. But they're at 67. Probably want to reduce noble power. Most of these are bad. Like bad for you, not. This one's okay if you have extra money. 135 ducats. Costs 135 ducats. You gain 5 prestige. Plus 5 noble loyalty. Let's go ahead and do that. Also, I haven't built anything so far. Let's see about building in our capital. Build a capital in our capital. As soon as we get out January. There we go. Also, okay, we haven't finished off trade. I thought I finished off trade. All right, let's do that. Caravan power, merchant trade power +1. There are some missions. Actually, there's a lot of missions. These are all just colonial missions. And this one pertains to total development. These ones give subsistence decreases. And the province's production of goods that can be exported increases, improving its economy. Gain some prestige, restoration of Union CB on Naples if you conquer Albania. They did change, what is the word? Aggressive expansion. So aggressive expansion is a lot more regional now. So China shouldn't care about you conquering Mexico. Let's go ahead and clear selected provinces, select individually, select pest, construct buildings, design the project, improve infrastructure. Let's see about improving can improve quartz. Where's quartz? I don't see quartz here. Yeah, because that's harborage, irrigation, garrisons, pathing, amenities, capital. Quartz apparently does something with improve the power and reach of our justice system to guarantee the effectiveness of our legal system. Yeah, let's go ahead and build that, sure. 229 ducats. I don't see it up here. So that's going to take 6 stages. 6 stages of construction. They have to buy the goods and then build it. So that might take anywhere from a couple months to 20 decades, depending on how fast you get the goods. And they don't tell you. So we'll see. I don't think there's any way for me to know that that finished, because I don't think quartz shows up here, because I don't see any spot for it. So we'll see. Yeah, commerce now decreased, probably because they're buying goods. They're purchasing a lot of the goods. Under produced and demand in the trade screen, the first number, so for food, 41.37 would be the produced. The 20 next to it is the imported amount. So that's what you're importing. Although, for me, it doesn't make, actually, higher education produces 0.51. Religious education produces 1.19, but on the trade screen it says we only produce 1.1 knowledge. So I'm not sure about that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode and continue in the next one. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.